Good morning, my friends. Cindy Eriks here with Eriks Environmental Consulting, and I just wanted to touch base with you on this Monday morning, August the 5th, 2024, as the Hurricane Debby bears down on the state of Florida. I believe it just landed near Steenhatchee, Florida, which is just a little bit south of Tallahassee, and it's veering off to the east a little bit. Heavy rains are expected in its path. There's been a lot of heavy rains in southwest Florida already. I don't know what the accumulation of inches has been, but there's a lot of river flooding, and there's expected to be a lot more flooding as the storm travels up the coast into Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, as it looks like the weather people are saying it's going to stall and dump a lot of rain, maybe 10 inches, 20 inches, a lot of rain, as it moves real slow over the land and just generates a lot of rain. And I've made a video like this before last August when the hurricane was coming near us and came through Florida. And I want to just reiterate some things that I've mentioned before about water damage building materials. I would not wait on your insurance company to tell you what to do. I would protect yourself by any breaches in your roof to get a tarp, a covering over that as soon as possible. And but one of the most important things also to do is to remove wet building materials from your home or your office or your commercial building. Sheetrock, when it gets wet, it needs to be removed. So you know, you can use a drywall saw. But like I had said in my last video last August, even if you had to use a kitchen knife, like a serrated knife or something, cut it out. Be super careful not to hurt yourself, but cut out any wet sheetrock and put it in bags. You can put it in garbage bags or stack it someplace if you're worried about your adjuster needing to see what got water damaged. I also recommend that you pull your carpet. And if you have trouble pulling your carpet up, if your carpet gets wet, just take some needle nose pliers and go right to the edge where the tack strip is along the edge, and just pull with the needle nose pliers, and it'll come right up. And to roll up the carpet and get the wet carpet out of the space. If you have to use a utility knife to cut it out, pull all the pad, and that's the most important thing, because in Florida, humidity levels are such routinely that mold will grow very quickly, despite what your insurance company will say. They will not lead you in the path of a good outcome most of the time when it comes to this. They want to send drying companies out to dry things on site, but what's behind the wet grows mold really quickly, and what may look dry may have mold behind it. So remove any wet sheetrock. Protect your family. Don't put a fan on it. If you have power and you can use a dehumidifier without the fan blowing straight on the water damaged materials, especially if it's been a few hours or a day or longer than that, because all you're going to do is that air movement onto those materials is just going to take any mold spores that might be present and just send them through the building, through the space, into the HVAC system, causing you more damage and more expense costs that may or may not be covered by insurance. Frequently, it's not covered by insurance, especially if you're insured by a few specific companies, one of which is State Farm. I don't know if they have any coverage for mold anymore, and the mold is limited. So, and also on that subject, I would say that if you have water damaged building materials, they need to come out. Your sheetrock, your carpet, your pad, pulled base trim. You could dry the wood studs. The wood studs can dry and be cleaned and be sealed, but I would just not only do that. Don't let anybody talk you into a dry out company drying your materials in place, because that is what they will try to do. That is what they routinely try to do, and it's only to your detriment. So I hope this was helpful to someone. If you don't have power and you don't have a dehumidifier, you're going to be in a little tougher shape because humidity is probably going to be high. But I would just, as soon as you can get power and get a dehumidifier running, dry the building. And once you pull, if you have to pull any sheetrock from the ceiling, get some clear plastic, or even if you have to, tape together plastic bags, but try to seal off the outside from the inside, which attic is outside. So try to seal that off so when the power does come back on and you're able to use your air conditioning system, you'll be contained. You'll be contained in the space and you'll be able to use that. So God bless every single person in every single state along the path of that storm. And feel free to leave any comments if you have questions, or go to my website, indoorairqualitymatters.com. And if you're in the panhandle of Florida and you need some assistance with water damage or mold, our phone number is 850-556-8888. Thank you very much, and God bless you.